What's up, YouTube? Anthony back at you again with Here in My Office. This is Here in My Office 61, and it's been about a week since I've last made a video, and just wanted to kind of go through what happened last time. Last time we were about to have an interview with Wells Fargo Audit Services in a VC room here in Buffalo for a woman who's actually in Minneapolis, Minnesota, interviewing me, and they had locations. A few locations available for this role. I did the interview. I answered their questions. It was a behavioral based interview, so they had, structured interview questions to ask me, which I think I answered satisfactorily. She seemed okay with it. I seemed to have rapport with her. It seemed to go well. But I say that all the time, right? I said that with Walmart. I said that with Goldman Sachs. I said that with M&T Bank. I said that with Citigroup. But since then, we're back where I have like 3 companies I'm in the process of interviewing with again. So we have Wells Fargo, which I haven't gotten a rejection from. And the lady was doing a lot of travel. So she told me that it might be some time before I get an answer. So I sent them an email a couple days ago, and they said they haven't received any feedback yet. So fingers crossed that comes through. But that would necessitate a move, most likely to Charlotte, North Carolina. But I'm not getting ahead of myself. I've been here too many times over the past year where I get really close, and then the job goes to somebody else. And I'm doing everything I can. I'm probably getting better at interviewing since I started. I'm getting so used to it, so that's a positive, I guess. And then I was supposed to interview with Google. I think it was early last week, but they had to postpone it and move the date. So now I'm talking to Google this coming Thursday. So it's Sunday now. I talked to them on Thursday. And then in the midst of all this, in the midst of Google and Wells Fargo, Citigroup contacted me finally because I've applied to nearly every audit position Citigroup has, and a recruiter finally came through, and he said that they have about 60 audit positions. And I'm thinking, well, you got 60 audit positions. Could you help a brother out here? I mean, so I have an interview with them. It's a video conference call. Here in my house. So right here, I'll be taking the video call. That's on Tuesday, and that's for an audit manager position. I think Google is an audit manager position too, but the thing about Google is, it seems so cool to work at Google, and it's so hard to get in there, and the pay is great and everything, but you got to understand it's in the Bay Area of California. So I'll be moving over there with the proceeds from my house, a couple $100,000 in my pocket, and I'll probably have to rent or something to get myself established, to get started there, because cost of living is just so damn high. And since my wrongful termination a year ago, my credit score has gone into the toilet. So I cringe at the thought of having to find another mortgage, because I frankly wouldn't be surprised if I was denied a mortgage or given some obscene interest rate that makes it unaffordable for me. But that's that's a whole nother matter. That's the lawsuit. So there really are 3 things going on right now. I'll make another video with what became of the whole Wells Fargo thing. I've interviewed with them like 4 times, 4 rounds basically, because they approached me early in the year and said that I was going to get and I just talked to human resources, and they said I was going to get an interview, and it never happened. And then they reapproached me, fortunately, which is very important, guys. So, when you apply all these places and you don't get anything, it doesn't mean that they still keep you in their system, and there's still the potential for them to reach out to you. So they did, and now I'm just waiting. But I'll I'll definitely make another video uh, in the next probably 5 days, something like that. Maybe after I have this Google Hangout thing on Thursday. They call it a Hangout. I think it's the software that we're using to actually meet the video stuff. But sounds sounds cool, I guess. A Hangout. I don't know. It's doesn't sound too intimidating, but I know that their interview process is notoriously difficult, and they told me that it's a 6 to 8 week process, so like 2 months, and I'm gonna go for it. But then I would think that Google for an audit manager job would offer relocation services at least to help me a little bit to get started. Because if to be frank with you, I'm probably gonna have to get money from family to help me get established if the Wells Fargo thing comes through, because I can't relocate broke, and then because I'm not gonna get a paycheck for, it's gonna be at least a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna need someplace to stay. That's all gonna cost money. Um, it's just another thing you got to worry about when it comes to relocation. But I've been open to relocation this whole process, and I'm frankly pretty surprised it hasn't taken this long. It's still taking this long. I still don't have an offer on the table. Um, for all this time and effort that I've invested in reestablishing myself in audit, it's just been tough, guys. But I'm just gonna roll with the punches and go with it. Um, in terms of my lawsuit, the wrongful termination lawsuit, uh, haven't heard anything lately. I called my attorney because we're doing this. I've mentioned this before. The pre-settlement funding. I'm trying to get a $50,000 loan to prevent my house from going into foreclosure and to pay my bills. But these pre-settlement funding companies, it's so stupid that they want, the ones that I've talked to in the past said that they need me to have an offer on the table that I'm accepting already. I'm like, what the hell am I using? What's the point of doing pre-settlement funding when I already have an offer on the table and the money is, around the corner? It's no help whatsoever. I need the money while I'm waiting for the settlement offer. So, pre-settlement funding, I don't have my I, I don't have my hopes up with this at all. I'm gonna contact them again next week and probably get a rejection. They're probably gonna tell me the same thing the other people have told me. Gotta have an offer. So, and then in terms of an offer, it's going to be, I've I've I'm preparing myself for another year, basically. So maybe next Christmas will be a very good Christmas. We'll get settled and have our money. But how much that's going to be and when it's going to happen, I don't know. We're suing for about $1 million. I know I'm probably not going to get that, but those are the damages that I computed. So gonna give it a go. And that's really all that's going on, guys. The holidays are approaching, and I've been I was lazy today. It's Sunday. I decided not to go out and do Instacart. I Instacarting on the weekends when everybody's at the grocery store is just terrible. There's no room for the cart. There's people bouncing into each other, and there's a long wait at the register. And the longer it takes, the less money you're making basically per hour. So, um, you know, hopefully, my hope is someday I'm going to reflect back on this time and say, hey, look, remember when I was slinging groceries for $10 batches? Um, and look how far I've come, when I'm back in the game. Oh yeah, and one other thing I forgot to talk about is New York life. So I am the contract just came through. I am an established uh, life and health insurance agent. I'm in their system. I'm all ready to go. So the thing I'm working on now, they call it Project 200. And Jacques, if you're watching, you're absolutely right. They expect you to find 200 people from your friends and family and contacts to basically put that into their system, and it'll send out advertisements to them and give them a card of mine, and hopefully, what they've said is if you send out a hundred mailers, you might get 2 people to come back. So, pork chop, come here. Talking to my dog. Um, so it's not a lot of people. So if I put out 200 and I get 4 people, those aren't even 4 sales. Those are 4 people that will talk to me about buying health insurance or life insurance, and I just don't see how it's sustainable. But I know there's people watching and that were interested in the whole New York Life gig and how that goes. So uh, I'm a little discouraged going into it because what I really want is I want another salary job again. I want to because the Wells Fargo job pays 140,000 base and a 30% bonus, so like $180,000. To make that much money as a life insurance agent, I would have to be booking buco business. I would essentially be like the top guy for my first year, because he showed me the guy who hired me. He showed me um, uh, income projections, and basically it was like at the if you the best you can do, or the best they've seen in your first year, is something like $80,000 to $150,000 a year. So I'd have to be at the upper end of their what they believe looks good, and I just don't see that happening. I really don't. But at this point, it's all I got, so I'm going with it. Still pulling together those 200. Still have a lot of trainings that I need to take. That I'll be honest, I've not been that on top of, because and going into the office, I'm gonna go into the office tomorrow for a training, but it's still like training this and training that, and still I'm not making any money, so it's kind of like, how enthusiastic can I get about going into the office when I'm not getting paid at anything? Not very, let's put it that way. But I'm gonna go for it and do it anyway, and see what I can make of it. And I think that's about it, guys. Tune in next time, and if you do like this video, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. And next time we'll have more information on what Google is all about and how the Google Hangout went. And that's probably the most exciting one. And then by then maybe we'll have a verdict from Wells Fargo, and we'll see if they're interested, and if I'm going to be preparing to move. So then I'd be talking about things like my next house and neighborhood and all that good stuff, and how that goes, and the whole trip. I'll bring you guys through all that if it happens. So that's about it, guys. My dog is. What are you doing, pork chop? What are you doing? Do you want to go outside? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go? No? That's my German Shepherd. Yep, that's my dog. But I got 3 German Shepherds, by the way, which adds another layer of complexity to the move, as you can imagine, because I can't really live with 3 German Shepherds in a congested house or small place, or really small place. So it kind of makes me cringe at what life would look like in San Jose, California, which is basically Silicon Valley, where Google is. They're in Mountain View, California. So I love California, though. I've been there a couple times and it was great. So I'm down with making a life there, but just look up the cost of living in the San Francisco Bay Area, San Jose area, and it's just like makes me sick. Coming from where I live, I got 5,500 square feet for $529, I think we paid. So this house in Mountain View, California would be like $10 million, literally. So I'd have to kiss away big houses and just, you know, it looks so fun at Google though. Like they got free food and all this entertainment. I'd probably be so happy working there that it wouldn't bother me that I got to live in a little house. At least for now, or at least in the beginning, at Google. So, but at this point, I'm very early in the process, so it's really kind of a pipe dream to talk about. But I thought I'd let you guys know that I did get a bite from Google, which is something most people probably don't, and they were interested in my background, so you know that's how it starts. So we'll see where it goes. And with that, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. So, like I said, if you like this video, subscribe, like. There'll be more fun content coming, and the content's gonna get a lot better when I settle on my lawsuit and you know become employed and have money again. Um, because we're gonna go car shopping. That was one of the casualties. I had a Land Rover LR4 2016 Land Rover that I had to sell because I couldn't afford the payment anymore after I lost my job. So we'll have cars and houses and home decorating and cool things like that, to show you once we once we come out of this rut, guys. But it's a learning experience. So thank you for taking the journey with me, and I hope these videos are helpful to you or you find them interesting. So thanks, guys. See you next time.